Yes, it's time, It's about time. Nebona, the 103.5 FM. Time for us to cause social change in our streets. Time to play the role of ombudsmanship. Now, back in the days, Onisha is one place you can, be in a hold up where you can be caught up in a particular hold up at a time. And when you get to discover the cause of that hold up, you see that maybe one driver is about picking, passengers and he's willing to block the road just to pick the passengers he wants to pick. Or you get caught up in a hold up at a time you discover that maybe some people are having burial or another kind of event down there, and that's the reason why nobody can cross, but all of this is going to be bygone. Good evening and welcome to this awesome, wonderful and spirit and knowledge filled edition of a Street Report on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I am Martin Ifan Shuku Ekezie as our number the first, the one that I call Metal. Now, in our small charts, a lot of people in Anambra State today are not happy about the activities of some government officials. Even the former governor of Anambra State is not also happy about it. I'm talking about Chief Willie Obiano, who warned the governor Soludo about the high-handedness of some government officials. Even with all of this, one thing is for sure. You cannot deny the fact that Governor Chukwumacha Soludo is working very hard to fix Anambra, to make Anambra the Dubai, the way he talked about it. Today, on this edition of Street Report, I want us to pay close attention to some of his policies. Now you discover that of late, tricycle and buses, are not always stopping the way they used to. They can't just stop. Illegal stopping now is no more happening in Anambra State. Before, it used to be a situation whereby you just want to pick a passenger, you stop, pick him up, and then that's it, you keep going. But today, there are parks in different areas in Anambra State, and you must go into that park to drop anybody or to pick anybody. That's just the thing that is happening on our streets right now. Yes, as people are complaining, a lot of people are like, why won't we stop at this spot? Some people are angry at the fact that they can just, like, they will have to trek to the spot where they will get a bus. That's just the pain now. And bus drivers are not happy because once they drop in a particular place, before you know it, they are fine. They will pay, for stopping in that particular area. But the truth is that, this is going to help to reduce traffic jam on our roads. You know that, it is the truth. There are some days you get to places like, I remember in Anambra, like when we used to have situation whereby people would trek from, places like building materials down to Head Bridge just because, they can't get across the gridlock because there will be so much from Head Bridge down, from building materials down to even before you get to like maybe army barracks or so, before you begin to see that, okay, it will get better. But you see people trekking from somewhere like building materials down to army barracks or down to Opiweka itself because of the amount of gridlock.
My name is Chief Dr. Sir Bogmano Udoku, designer of Batwilo Giving. Keep listening to Street Report with Martin on Ebon 103.5 FM Ogidi.
But if you look beyond the shenanigans of the people enforcing this bus stop issue, you will see that the Soludo-led government is trying to introduce a new model, when it comes to transportation in Anambra State. And that is something you will compare with that of Lagos. If you've been in Lagos, you see that this is what is going on in Lagos. There's a reason why when you get to Lagos, you see that everybody is willing to jump into a moving vehicle. A situation whereby Molua is on the road, is moving, and you see passengers getting into the Molua. Why it is moving? There's a reason for that. Now, in Lagos, for example, you want to stop in the Lord's Choosing Church now, which is located at Sonya Bus Stop. But the thing is that for you to stop at Sonya Bus Stop, you have to stop at the under bridge of Sonya Bus Stop. So once you get to that under bridge, you stop there. Then you trek back to the junction where you will now, begin to navigate your way back into, the Lord's Choosing. That's how it is. Why is that? Because the bus cannot stop you at that junction. The bus will have to get to under bridge of the Sonya in order to drop you. If not, he will be like last man will get him and eat him up. He will pay for, stopping in the places where he's not supposed to stop at. And if you look at it properly, that's the reason why everybody in Lagos is willing to jump into a moving vehicle, because they don't want the driver to be, the driver to be caught at the end of the day. He's paying for something like that. I'm not saying that it's all good for someone to jump into a moving vehicle, but I'm only trying to explain like the transformation that Anambra State is going through right now, under the Soludo-led administration. Now, this and more will be the cause of our discussion on this particular edition of a Street Report on Ebona at 103.5 FM. I remain Martin Ifan Shuku AKZ as number the first, the one that I call Metal. Stick around with this one. It's coming from Luciano, and he says, a black government.
Black man, prophesy to the nation ready. Where is the black man? Marcos Garvey, a black man, prophesy to the nation ready. Where is the black man? President Marcos Garvey. Where is the black man government? Where is the black man where is his president? His country and his legacy. My young ambitious mind searching to find my roots. I am determined to reach my destiny. And black is the foundation of the human nation, the origin of civilization. There's no doubt or any question. The honor is that Lord, a season of the Almighty, to reveal the motherland and restore our agency. I shall save mine, the black star liner, saving me from the children of the Father. Save mine, the black star liner, if not about race, the black make the river. Save mine, the black star liner, saving me from the children of the Father. Save mine, the black star liner, if not about race, the black make the river. Been so long living in a Babylon. I've been hated by the evil one. And seems like they don't really care about the human race. They keep on fighting, trying to keep us down. After all we've been through, there's still no reparation. We seek repatriation. Africa for the Africans. It's left to me and you to fulfill that divine vision. So happy mighty race. Let's drive out the Babylon. I shall save mine, black star liner, saving me by the children of the Father. Save mine, black star liner, it's not a boat race, a blackness me prefer. Save mine, black star liner, saving me inside the children of the Father. Save mine, a black star liner, it's not a boat race, a blackness me prefer. They use us as their slaves, involve us all to danger. No one knows when there will be victory from slavery. Out of slavery we have come with tears and sorrow. We the people are strangers, living in a strange land. Where is the black man's government? Where is the black man's kingdom? Where is his president, his country, and his ambassador? My young ambitious mind, searching to find my roots. I am determined to reach my destiny. I can save mine, a black star liner, steady me, shall the children of the Father. Save mine, a black star liner, it's not a portrait, a black is me prefer. Save mine, a black star liner, steady me, shall the children of the Father. Save mine, the black star liner, it's not a portrait, the black is me prefer. Save mine, save mine.
Yes, that one is coming from Luciano, reminding us of the days of Marcus Garvey. A man who believes that Nigeria will be great someday, the black nation that will, emancipate all black people. That's the belief of Marcus Garvey. And the way he was organizing, for the government to be, that's the black man government to be so organized, in order to achieve the things that the black people need to get to achieve. So the Black Star Liner is a ship that a ship that he formed for the sake of black people. He wanted the black people to own their own ship, to own their own shipping companies and all of that. But because there will always be revolt, from black persons, and at the end of the day, he failed in most of the things he wanted to do, and then he was deported back to Jamaica, all the way from the US. All of those dreams went, somewhere else, evaporated. Now, bringing it back to Anambra State today, there is a need for us to understand whatever the government is doing. There are some we might not just agree with them, but at a time, if we get to see the benefits of what is being done, we pay attention and enable the government to do what they need to do. Like this issue of trying to form bus stops in some areas to make sure that there is a free flow of traffic in Anambra State. I think that's what this is supposed to serve. And that is how I welcome you back to this edition of Street Report on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. Yes, before we went on the break, I said that if you look beyond the shenanigans of the people who are trying to enforce this thing about the bus stop and look at what the government is trying to achieve, that free flow of traffic. And I think you will begin to applaud the government for that. I think that's what it is. Today, if you move from Oyo Lisa, down to Afompo, you will discover that there are new parks. For example, now Afompo now is not a place where you just stop as a commercial bus or tricycle operator. There are parks you have to get into in order to drop your passengers or pick any at the end of the day. In the same manner, if you get to places like Ugun Asike, there you will also find the new parks, where you are supposed to get into in order for you to drop passengers or pick any. And anybody or any bus or commercial tricycle that stops in that axis, will have themselves to blame. Then, if you move down to Onitsha, in a place like Savoy Junction now, for example, there you have this park where you have to get a bus. I think this one is just keke, where you get a keke that is headed towards main market or Ose, and then keke also that is headed towards Ochanja and all of that. So if you move away from that park now, move down a bit, get to Savoy itself, you can't get any keke or bus again till you get to Jidofon Zogu. Like you're getting down to Oka Road now before you now get to see, a keke that can pick you, and he will have to get inside, to get you. The same way, you keep moving down, you can't get any keke again till you get to a place like, Tezaco that is close to Osuma, before you can now get in another keke or bus that will pick you up, because they are all scared of the fact that if they drop at a particular spot, a lot of boys will come after them, boys working for Anambra State government. Yes, everybody is worried about the manner by which these things, they are doing it. Everybody is worried that, okay, these people, they disrespect people a lot. They do this and do that. But what I'm looking at is not just what they are doing. I'm looking at what the result of this at the end of the day. And the result is a free flow of traffic. That's like the major thing I'm looking at when it comes to this. Now, as our people continue to complain about, what is going on, but if you look at it properly, if you compare that to Lagos, if you get to Lagos now, whether private car, commercial bus, keke, tricycle, even tricycle are not supposed to operate in some areas. Once they are seen in those areas, they will cease immediately. So if you get to there, you see that all of this. They make sure there is no illegal stopping at a time. They must stop at the bus stop that the government said that this is the bus stop where buses must stop. And if you look at it properly, you see that one thing that this bus stop issue will bring about is the sanitation or sanitization of road taxation. There won't be complications anymore because anybody who is getting anything for or who is collecting taxation on behalf of the government must do it from those parks. And you know that this is the person you are supposed to meet, and that. I think that's what it's supposed to be. But we'll still hear from the drivers. They will tell us their experience, what is going on. But I think this is where we are headed, why we have this conversation this evening. I want us to be focused on the result I think the government of Anambra State is trying to achieve in this, which is a free flow of traffic. There are days when you get to a particular place in Anambra State and you see a hold up, and you begin to wonder what caused it in the first place. You see that it is just basically insensitivity of drivers, being that nobody is regulating the fact that, commercial buses will drive any way they want just to get to where they need to get to. And not just commercial buses, because if you say commercial buses, at the time, private vehicles as well have questions to answer when it comes to this as well. So we must talk about it today. Yes, if you get to Lagos, you see that some people have, like some vehicles were pounded because of the fact that they just stopped in a place where they are not supposed to stop at. Yes, here in Etiana today, where Bololo government Chukuma Soludo Neme, the governor of Anambra State, the governor of Soludo, all on Alugasen Anambra State so far. In a phone, and a puchasuzo, and making sure na, a bus stop, every bus is say na for say, or was just on your pota, everyone as or opposite on a very good day. May observe of my if some of the people not complain that they could just be that way. No, okay, now some of these buses now bus stops now for say no observe yeah. And in anya since ebido ya befe if na hold up another then a form poor ada de kebeze you go because na on a flow once the bus na kwụsị no goes a bus niile na abaze na park you go so if na on a flow so I am I eju eti on today. Yes, a lot of people na when it comes to Ukwu Bastalo, the governor of Anambra State. Man of an office and an office in those Adama Sapana and well some areas about the metia. Manoya Melay do at Mamakakafo. So that he that yon Kowa, Yotago ebe feel in a father metia. But you and I will have this agreement. The agreement is that being that free flow of traffic at the end of the day. So what is your take? What is your own experience when it comes to the new bus stops Gasana and Anambra State so far? And if you na on help Anambra a build or you those user he feel and got too far when it comes to AC age day the keke and the bosses ma happen every far kwesịrị kwụsị. Yes, Lotepa na I there the fact that some of the government officials enforce FA na got beyond Otis West Yefa. I there from the equation. Whenever in Nigeria, if the governor actually achieve. Now, the former governor of Anambra State, non attacks this current governor of Anambra State, Soludo, on the conduct of government officials. I'm talking about the former governor of Anambra State. I'm talking about Obiano, and this is what he said. You know, this is it. The immediate past governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano, has emphasized the importance of responsible governance and encouraged Governor Chukwuma Soludo to ensure that all public officials uphold good principles in their work. In a statement released by his spokesman, Tony Nnezia, the former governor appealed to Soludo to address what he described as excesses of some government officials in the execution of their duties. Obiano commended Soludo's initiative in road construction, education, and healthcare, urging him to continue the good work. He requested Governor Soludo's attention to several legacy projects left behind by his administration, particularly the Anambra International Cargo and Passenger Airport, Umwere. So one thing is for sure, here Governor Nememaka Transportation in Anambra State need he can applaud, but the only place I can okay, maybe Otun, the government officials. When it comes to this issue about bus stops, I need your experience. You believe in if a governor and not say continue with it. Or where be to the numbers you call and then you become part of the conversation remains 070 34 45 9334 or 070 45 59 2210. Hello. Yes. Good evening. Good evening, my brother. Keke man. Please call back. We need to hear from you. What do you have to say about this? Hello. Yes. Good evening, my brother. Radio. Okay. Yes. Apa gonna be why? Okay, na nyakwa mkpọtụ. Gbanyụ go to the radio. Gbanyụ gị ekita. Okay, na nyakwa mkpọtụ, my brother. Gbanyụ ọnụ ya nụnụ. Ọ dị ka ya kpọchi akwa na ya azụ. Apa gonna be why? Who go apa again?
Monday from Ogidi.
Gabaniru, can you know this new, bus stops and what we say enforce ya?
Well, in that case, Soludo and Makamana, dependent on road, they make it bad.
Okay.
Like today, I'm one-year driver, yeah, that this morning I'm at the road in Tony, which is maybe I'm a passenger. So, yeah, today, this morning, come back break, Grundin market. 4 kinds of people that some why they go Madeira, never passenger, but I had passenger here.
Okay.
From that night, the job is. From there, only the passenger. When I your papa with you, 2 mornings, I had to wait to go for time. I your papa, we go. Wait on what they came waiting and pack. Now we're back. You know, you don't make this morning 5,500. Which is the main idea, and the even I'm a member of the boat, Madikeke, so my family know those things. So the thing and you got for 4 weeks. 1st year, when the car no parking, no loading for that place. So the letter for 1 week before the video.
Impossible. Mana enyekwa gap of 1 week and I ga-enwekwa another person gasị na ya ma akwa. Okay ma.
Yes, quite a man at least that's what say.
And at the end of the day, ignorance of the law is not, an excuse at the end. Okay ma.
It's true. It's true, but no wherever
Okay.
So even now that we see in the time that never had to body before.
Okay.
Like just like people who are Savoy. I am going down at Savoy there.
Okay.
So people if you don't see them get mobile any possible party there. If you got for 2 weeks, you understand?
Okay.
Before if you don't see them matter there. And they even from Savoy Junction to Tentacle. Before you are passing after you free station you do go passing and the market. The gap of that place, don't know that you would there, but I have where I would. But from old road to here, my side out from four. And when any gap and then you just the poor one that they check the road, which is very bad.
Okay. So in Akwana, create awareness, can the mother know to accord this detail with you all.
Exactly.
Okay. And I know if you could, but thank you so much for joining us. Kind of from Undos or Maladia experience. So, thank you so much. Yes, we need to hear from you when it comes to this issue about new parks in Anambra State. If you didn't hear governor and met the man or get help Anambra State 07034459334 or 07045592210. At a time, experience the free flow of the traffic. But the man not complain is able just the attitude of enforces these laws. Melo, even the former governor of Obiano when our governor ya control or ya make sure and there. Then I'll all under him. More we need to hear from you when it comes to this. Kereban and make these new parks na your side. Now walk now drum mananya get Yes, let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, your name and location, please. Amaka, put off your radio set, please. Imegia. Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. Please, go on.
I want to much talk. No,
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's very good. At least, when you're not what to some and this order of the thing about to not go break. But when they are caution, when they are going to Anna know beyond what the accent to do.
Okay.
Like the other,
Hello, Amaka.
I was going on the road. I was inside the keke. The way this guy died inside that keke, I wish open at the car drive is to the keke. This shot was shot, the keke at all upside down. I was very annoyed. You see about this man about drop dad. Also know of North Korea. You know, also know as the Hana, no, in your battalion hand of the after. When it seems like you have problems, when you have an argument at the end, often I walk a year 7,000. No, that you okay with the academy, you know that. So what am I seeing who demand that? At the end, they take it open a go and go to the assess or some of the passing. Well, let's go to the office. Look at those or some of that to get anyone in when you can get to it. Can they get in a go and go? So most of the problems and then what you go the way, God knows if they be that's not really a
walk out to call my sister. But she and I as okay, I get bank at off. I need the hotter if I make a slab, hotter Malona on wherever the driver possible at the time. Young for Bolia, we so busy because not we pen at them. o nwere ike ọ kwụsị ọ monitor bazie so bezie by the time o ji dide ọ kwụgo n'ebe ọ kwụsị so ọ na-ekwuzi ọ na-asị ya na onwere ebe ọ kwụsị something like that ọ na-emekwa sometimes. Now let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello. Yes, good evening. Yes, put off your radio set, sir.
Yes,
I'm an remind us of your names again and go on. Remind us of your names, sir. Oh, you Gabazaniru, sir.
Okay, on Monday from Obiano.
Gabaniru, sir, now.
Okay. So the report in the Kitabu, or I'm a Fort Johnson, but I repeated on 9 and 10.
Okay.
We have a break on Fort Johnson, even 9. Never is get with it. That's why they go back here. Manopima Badu. We have a break every 10, like no, I'm carrying 10 or 11 or 10. Like last week, every 10 on Samabata. Run on Fort Johnson, Kabu Pata. I was going cross on Fort Johnson, Kabu Pata, a pompo, but you get me there. I'm from 5,000 naira, I'm an every 10. So, when that look at that, too much.
Mana enforcement of the law, and while I'm moving, lose your send up to enforce Yaketa. No, like maybe no opposite 9 and 10, Asemba now, Bozzy, now, yeah, government took Adozi in order. Manodin, you are like over on Lagos now, for example, Eban and Wagasi, moto na-eload gasị n'anyasị onwe nnukwu moto dala iwu n'anyasị a ndị last ma akpọli ya n'anyasị a na oil problem, don't you think? Olu time a onwelo mgbe time a ga-elu asị na so time ka akwụsịzie ọrụ because na time agafego mgbe gọvanọ kwuru onwelo mgbe enyere time limit to the entire thing nọ na asị na ada akwụsị ebe ọsọkwa ya bụ 12 nke anyasị.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, no.
And thank you so much for joining us again, my brother. Dalo. Yes, we need to hear from you. 07034459334 or 07045592210. Hello.
Yeah, I call back again.
Welcome back. Gabani Rubo?
Yeah, right. I can't see your phone. You were the other to your kitchen.
Okay.
Because after there, all the line, it was the no, you have to call it.
Okay.
I'm an out of what the women at 4 Junction, no, you have to. I'm no way he is to a medical and let's go to.
Okay.
Then I control back again, no move. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, what at the end, what happened is like the guy is a newcomer in my line. So, what the
okay.
Okay, my guy say, I feel a bit check after all, no, hold up and near opposite. Can you other move to get the call where that? A boss on a key. So, okay, I got the line, I'm only not going to be here, how much I say, my own way home with the matter. Yes, oh, yeah. What's the answer? One of the house here, we must go to that office. Keep a content driver, he would that. I wasn't a goal, he said. You understand? Okay. So, always some people, this workers, I can hear all, and whenever all I could see me, now I will say,
now bastardize the entire exercise.
Thank you, my dear. So they don't do what they ask them to do. They will just do it. They'll be doing their own illegally. Okay. That 5,000 euros because car driver yes, there in the end is their worker of 500. Secretary of 500 I want. Because I was like, the man, I told me the offense or me, no, although because or if I do that or that for me, the new that is line. I don't know if you understand. Because here you know that you must call me again.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, you thought that you're not all alone. He got all one leg, it's all one leg. That is, I have to buy the man like that.
Okay.
And secondly, yes, that box stop and yes, the man. At least all my loan of an hour, or no each job. I am a good normally know that is big. I can do it. At least go when you're or Helen. Of course, time they look at the workers, they should close. No, even not have clothes. When you put it in our back, we down. No, that's not box stop in the arm of who is looking at the not rocky, must say, handy to the Abago, kind of that good design. No, you continue to respect that rule and regulation anyway.
Okay.
Because most of the time, all these guys and the so-called coast party will be a problem too. But these social media, the party, I want to see no problem for India and the tax collector. I'm not going to give I'm not going to so most of these guys are not caused by their problem.
Not this. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
So all these are these government at least on the Pakita, only not do a 5-3 years or no. So maybe also a bit too clear.
Yes, yes.
No, at least I'm not on the Havana, or Canada, or Hannah, we let
Yes,
somehow.
okay. Once
So that people are not going to put some advice. You understand?
Like in the case, so two is when I narrating Konoman, now the wrong in home. So no, if he had a person conscious.
Yeah, the man is not only the one on to let's go to that topic. I want to know the offense is not committed. However, I go on that, I don't know if I lose or felt I was eating when I say young. Otherwise, no, no one is wrong. What's more we can get what that? This madam, I know what I'm saying. I'm going to traffic guy for. However, the man can you know, I got in a cabin at the day that the man was no Macania, you know, Yahoo.
Age when I'm
not running cat on or no, late or not. Not okay, the water.
Okay, one so borrow. I
500 defended to kiss.
So borrow.
Which is wrong. At least you call them. Put some sense into them. If I'm a work with the hand one. But upon my double opportunity, now move all illegal, which is not a zero.
Yes. Mandalo, my sister. Oh, thank you so much for joining us again. And notice you go so Obapani had the former governor of Anambra State in Naga caution on the Nalogasi all under the government today because now a lot of them was the SSC Saga address 07034459334 or 07045592210. Kedekis were hot here bastala this bus stop because they compare just to Lagos so the if on anywhere if on Lagos if we say I only beg I say last minute they goes in my at the end of the day. Now, I want a message now, our WhatsApp portal from Nkana Bianaka Agonabo, and he's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibo, and he says, good evening, this evening, Martin. This reason, the reason masses are complaining about it is because people are not making use of it. But it have, it's been in Lagos since, and people are now getting used to it. But as for me, I like it because it stopped a lot of jam-packed, and to stop Aboro work, and one must be trekking with caution. We have to applaud the governor because of the traffic and must apply security caution to avoid casualty. He continued and says that he's joining us. He said, "Martin, let it not create avenues of harassing masses and taxation, but it's collecting money from people and arresting people illegally by the abuse of the office of the governor at the end of the day." So if we not fed them back, I need at the end. If I need the guy, go to one. Kedoke is where control their SSCs. At the same time, applauding what the governor is doing because if you know Mexico's or yellow at the end, you have to go was a free flow of the traffic at the end. 07034459334 or 07045592210. Those are the numbers you call and then you become part of this conversation. Let's hear from you right about now. Hello.
Hello, Matthew.
Good evening, my brother. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm Martin from
Okay, please go on, sir.
Yeah, concerning the concern with the me have a sala issue in the motion and the yeah, opposite to my governor because you have an office in the back. Now, I get no fee. How am I reaching the office?
Okay.
Normally, they also look suppose and the most is that rope on that illegal point or something like that. That control the food there until it goes to that.
Oh, to say, I don't know. In Motonesi, Anambra, Lagos, Maleboy, I was in Lagos, you didn't want to see Anambra. No, no, now. Now, oh, yeah, but in Isi Anambra, Lagos, so when big an answer driver, Posigo, second Banyaman Kusumga. Or what get boga for second. In some cases, or Posiga big, I was moved to when she has been in.
Yeah. So no, you have to mean, I'll put us in Adena Park. And office in the office in the upon Monday to take Yanaga because I never thought it's okay. And now, I believe of the Papa.
Zobazia steering.
Which is not relevant.
Yes.
Because some person not customer this thing. I can make that source of global. Mama put that in the middle. I know about price. Open I can not whether if you can my friend that would and if another person can have that.
Okay.
And we look for the happen. We look for the man like a play. We must follow for the general. Now, follow a well, know the price.
Okay.
So I can make sure this things are sorry. The man, so you don't know. The government will be out in the IT.
Okay.
But open no make you sure. Okay, I want to go back to that. We have that continue. And I even say I'm good work.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Agonabo from Opa Aguluzibo. Thank you so much. So at the end, I'm gonna applaud the governor Chukuma Soludo. No longer alum or drop an easy issue or draw easy Anambra state of any like state in Anambra state. So let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this right about now? Hello. Hello. Oh, please call back 07034 459334 or 07045 592210. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, good evening, my sister. Keke, ma'am. We thank God.
Okay, let's see how don't ask me say our government. You are talking. Moto stand your banner. After that, you might go in the road,
Yes.
You are talking. About the now for Chia, for not about the bar, for not there, and the other ball, and the other.
Yes.
You are talking. Penny, I have Pasiana and Blacky, but that police. In the petition and the road, almost to put over. Also, on the Friday, then waiting for the above and a
Yes.
Man,
even private as a manage the private, don't ever private say. I've got maybe private to say, and here the car or bomb man or before Malian manage the fear bar. So all car control the traffic about just my private and commercial long ever mother say or hobby.
Yes, it's like it's like this time you want to go come down, I need to about people to a little while. Perhaps direct young mother.
Okay.
Okay, I have to answer mother, see that no way to happen. Because always I had to everything they were organized. If they direct them, labor down, labor man. On our part, just taking here correction.
Yes.
Or put it here, it's a need like him, I go now, but like if we can't come, my sister for one. Oh, yeah, go now, they say he had that when I actually.
Yes.
Or so he said, you didn't harass the year. After that, you get 0 down. It was then to put hands to get off. That's another thing. I don't know, because I don't know where to
I hope.
So I can now one day, it's so family well organized.
Okay.
I not direct in them, but I won't tell you. You know what I mean? If no one I know, I like it. It's not a good way and I like it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So in there,
okay.
But unless
my sister.
People can always say, I don't get it.
But here be my sister.
You can't say, I know this. Look at their life, governor. Yes, you can I need to our uncle and I to the guitar.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my sister. Adan and Koko, in card maybe by the time the governor gave you maybe fair Iboro will go at the end. If only for them so far now or Boro Bego, maybe by the time we are maybe maybe Kubepazoku, maybe Elo plant other states well. But now road taxation and then enforce these laws about the new parks. Can you hear me about it? Let's hear from you right about now. Hello. Hello. Network. Hello. Okay, please call back. 07034 459334 or 07045 592210. Let's see if we can get this call before we call it a day. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Good evening. Hello. Yes, good evening, my brother. Yes, your name and location, please. Apa again, Ebisi Agbaye, Gabazeni Runya. Hello. Network, they were very poor. ABC Agbaye, my brother. We'll have this conversation, but keep the calls coming. Keep it coming. 07034 or 07045 We just have a minute, to conclude this. What is your take? The bus stop, the new bus stops, and what it is doing to our streets. The fact that there is a free flow of traffic right now on our streets, on our roads. Just one more before we call it a day. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, my brother. Welcome. Welcome. Just a minute, can was my brother. Can you hear me? Find out. Now, bus stop like bus stop designate for ibu passenger like bus stop designate for ibu passenger now once like in car now for example ndị niile na-akwụsị n'ime ebe a n'ime paakị ahụ ewepụtara ọfụ ha kwụsị dị afọ epike passenger ma ha chọkwa na-agakwa. That's the thing. So mana ekwuzi along the road n'ogologo afọ mkpa dozi allowed because na need dikwazi ịbanye n'ime the park ka iwee pick keke or bus ga-ebugu jedeze ebe na-eje. No problem. Equation na line no. Obolo otu pasi ame aba ahụ. Equation na line a wee pick dikwazi otu pasi ame an. Okay. Oh yeah, but all along the road no. Obolo na ekwu n'ilo wee mebezi ya mana ịbanye n'ime the park wee pick. I don't think no way age dey. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother Dalo. Oh, and this is the spot where we'll begin to call it a day on this particular edition of Street Report on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. Even if I tell on that, we'll help us start this bus stop. We'll also help Anambra and ever there met here on the better. Yes, I could trying to also preach to the people who are doing this work, the government work, to be mild, to be, to behave as civil people, civilized people, when they are, doing their job. That same SSis the former governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano, now complaining about. But at the end, if I melod the farmer or those parks, the and on your laka na traffic. Remember that Street Report comes your way, Friday, once is 4:30, so keep a date. And don't touch the dial of Ebon at the 103.5 FM. Once is 6 o'clock this evening, immediately after Angelus. There will be news, Till we meet again, I am Martin Efan Shuku AKZ. As our number the first, the one that I call Metal. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm black man.